It's showtime, folks. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game here on this Wednesday, almost Thanksgiving. He's Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos. The reporter, Nick Keyser, hanging around as well. What's up, JoJo?
It's a good day, man. It's a good day. Thanksgiving's here. A lot to be thankful
I woke
for.
up this morning. It's a good day.
It is a good day. And I'm going to tell you right now, our question of the day is very simple because of Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for? We want to hear from you. What are you thankful for? We got a packed show, but we always work in time for your thoughts and comments and everything. 615-737-1025. What are you thankful for? I'll start. I'm thankful for you two boneheads, for Dr. Crane and the boss man. I'm not kidding you. I mean, I've never been happier in my professional life than I am right now, and you two are a big part of that. So praise the Lord. I'm here with you guys every day. It's fun. It's not work. It's entertaining. We have a great audience. It's just a lot of fun. Great coworkers here. Love our general manager. Love our owner. Love our staff. So a lot to be thankful for. So that's how I start today. Thankful.
Love what you do. Love where you work.
Bingo.
That's what Sean always says. No, I agree. I echo that. It's funny. I've been blessed to be in this building 13 years. I actually think to the day. I think this is when my internship started 13 years ago when a scared to death, 20-something, 24-year-old still in college that thought he knew all the answers and actually, no, he didn't. He had no answers, but walked in here and saw this guy that he had watched on television, for years and years, and was like, man, that's Big Joe Dubin. I get to work with
back
him.
off.
No, the first thing you said in my direction was you looked at our producer and goes, you're right. He is cute.
That's been a standard. That's Willie, right? Willie was here.
Willie, it was the Sports Revolution with you and Willie Donick, and the late Dave Hull was the producer. And
and I think Willie's still talking.
Probably.
Yeah.
He does that. It served him well in his career.
Dr. Crane, what about you, Bubba?
Yeah, I mean, like you both have said, same sentiment around here. I echo that. Thankful for my family, honestly. Without them, they're like the backbone of everything. Even though, you go through trials and tribulations with your family, they can be, a bit of a pain in your butt, but at the same time, they're your support system. So, and thankful for all my friends out there as well. So, thankful for both of y'all as well, too. Without y'all, I don't know where my career would be, because you guys have given me a moniker that I've ran with, and it's just been a blast.
Onward and upward, brother.
Yep.
Has your great Sicilian brother, Michael Corleone, said, never apologize for your family.
You're right.
There you go.
That's it. That's a good one.
It is.
So with that being said, Mom, I know you're not listening, but let's get the attitude up a little bit. She's been cranky the last couple of days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what that's
What'd you
about.
do?
I didn't do anything.
What's Mom's name?
Oh, she's just on a tear. Her name's Rosie. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
See, now I'm giving her the, extra incentive. You got to be good, man.
Yeah. All right, Rosie.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Rosie, we need them more.
Mr. Rosie.
That is actually how it does sound around the house.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
My
nice.
grandmother, she gets in a mood.
Let's answer the phone, please.
Nice. Get in that mood. Get in the mood. So that's it. What are you thankful for? I want to hear from you today with all that going on. So this morning I have to go over Fox 17, talk a little football. Got to expand the brand of 1025 The Game. But I'm telling you, the college football playoffs came out last night, Chaser, and they're going to make Bama get in. Bama's going to get in. I'm telling you right now, somehow, some way.
We will talk about that. But first, let's say hello to Philip Forsberg, who is on the line with us, Nashville Predators forward. Phil, how are you? Good morning.
I'm great. How are you?
We're doing fantastic. Game night. It's kind of the rare Wednesday, but I love this week of Thanksgiving schedule that you all do, where usually you play kind of a Monday night and then the night before Thanksgiving, and then things take a little bit of a break, and then you're back at it on Black Friday. But I guess it's business as usual for you all.
Yeah, certainly. It's like you said, obviously a little different with having the Monday, Wednesday, Friday as game days, which we usually don't have as often. But there's been a lot of Monday night games so far, which changes things up a little bit. But no, it'd be great to get back at it after that one on Monday.
So, we've talked to you and talked to your teammates, and we hear from Barry every week and all of that. And obviously it's no secret that you guys wish things were going a little bit differently right now. You're finding some good, but still a little bit of bad in there. What is kind of the mood in the dressing room with you and your teammates as you guys navigate through this?
No, I think the mood is, I mean, like you said, we definitely would have wished to be, flipping the record if we had the opportunity. But at the same time, I think the mindset and like you said, the mood it's been really solid from day one. Obviously, everybody's aware of the work we got ahead of us, but it hasn't wagered any of the confidence or any of the belief that we have in the locker room. So I think guys are, in a good spot when it comes to that, but certainly eager to get the wins coming.
We're talking to Filip Forsberg on the Chase and Big Joe show. And Philip, we could sit here all day and talk about how the season's not going how you wanted and everything like that so far. Tell us what you do like. What is working? What's some of the things that you feel like you guys are doing really well right now?
I think special teams have been really good. Obviously, the penalty kill, I think, still leads the league, or right up there at least. In the power play, might not have been awesome last game, but I think we've been doing a lot of good things on the overall, the broad side of things, and I think that's something that we keep working on every day. But I think special teams is something that we really been, showed up on, and especially like I said, the penalty killers. Those guys have done a tremendous job so far, and really giving the team a chance to win every single night. And I think, obviously we got some work to do on 5-on-5 stuff, but the special teams have been carrying us in games and gotten us points, and that's something that we're going to have to keep improving on as well.
Off of that, what's the most frustrating thing? I mean, it's not like you guys are just going out there and just skating around in a circle. I mean, the effort is there. So what's the frustrating part about all this?
I think the frustrating, frustration is something that we try to keep at a minimum, obviously. But like I said, we're all competitive people. We all want the best for this team, and we all put so much, like you said, time and care into it that when things don't go your way, you obviously you want it to. But I think we've got to get a little more consistency into our game. Like you touched on earlier, there's a really good game on Saturday against the number one team in the league, and then we go into Jersey and don't really follow it up, and then that's kind of been the theme a little bit. So I think there's the positive is that clearly we've proven that we can do it, but we just gotta do it every single day, every single night, whatever it takes. Because like I said, we put ourselves in a little bit of a spot that we need to dig out of, and clearly there's a ton of time, but also things happen fast in this league.
Yeah, not only that, Filip Forsberg joining the show. It seems like you guys are playing like every other hour. Are you able to take a deep breath, Philip? Because it's like a game, day off, game, day off, game, day off. Are you able to kind of take a deep breath and kind of get away from it for a moment, or no?
I think everybody finds their way. I mean, you know how it goes. It's certain times it's a little harder, but I think everybody's got to find their way of doing it. And for me, it's just been spending time with family, and obviously having Felix as an addition to that this year has been a really good place to get away, so to speak, from the game, whether it's good or bad. Like even when you're playing really well, you still need to get away from the grind every day. So I think that's been, really, really helpful, spending time with him and Aaron and just kind of relaxing that way.
Yeah, how excited are you for the the holiday season? You got I know Erin and her family celebrate Thanksgiving, and you got Christmas and everything coming up. How excited are you for doing that for the first time as a dad?
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Thanksgiving is obviously, like I said, a little more of a, but I'm more brought into that tradition by default, so to speak. But I love it so far, and obviously they, like you said, the family, especially on Erin's side down in Georgia, they do it for real. They celebrate the right way, and I was fortunate enough to go there obviously during the COVID break when we had Thanksgiving off back then. So sadly I can't make it this year, but they'll be celebrating big down there, and Christmas is always going to be awesome once that comes around, especially having that whole leading up to it and everything for the first time. It's going to be cool.
Phil, I'll just tell you this: with Thanksgiving, just show up hungry, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what I've learned over the years. That a lot of really friendly people are inviting me over too. So it's a good crew to be around.
Is it fun too for both of you to kind of learn the different traditions from different countries that you're from, that he can kind of grow up in both?
Yeah, exactly. No, I think that's been awesome. Obviously, we have Midsummer, which is a really big thing that we celebrate in Sweden. That I've took Aaron to last a couple of times back in Sweden, and we celebrated even here in Nashville the years that we haven't been able to go back for the summer, and that's something that Felix will experience hopefully firsthand when we get back there next summer. But yeah, we did a little midsummer celebration here, but he was obviously just just over a month old, so he probably won't have too many memories from that. But there certainly will be a lot of them in the future.
No better job than being a dad, Philip. Before we go, Philip, Christmas is around the corner, as you know, and my great co-host Chase here, he's too nervous to ask you, but he would like 2 goals from you tonight. Is that okay?
That early for Christmas? That'd be a Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That'd be more of a Thanksgiving gift. So I'll get to work on that. See what the elves got working in the back
Ah, beautiful. Thank you.
If that happens tonight, that would be awesome.
Thank you, Philip.
Philip,
You guys keep putting that in the universe, and we'll see what happens.
Yes.
let's do it. Let's get 2 points tonight. That's all that really matters. But hey, thanks so much for doing this, and happy Thanksgiving to you and the family. And we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Same to you guys. Take care.
So yeah, Philip Forsberg joining us here on the program as they are in action tonight against the Philadelphia Flyers. And if he scores 2 goals tonight because of this,
That'll-
bringing it
That'll be a commercial for perpetuity. We'll play it every break, every going in and
just
out.
like the guy falling asleep.
That's right.
it will be played for sure.
man.
So Max will have pregame for you at 6:00. Puck drop just after 7 at Bridgestone Arena as the Predators take on the Flyers. Speaking of pre and post game, I've set this up, so I'm gonna announce it. I think he wants to announce it, but I'm gonna announce it. So Jared has always asked me, like, what has to happen for me to be able to do pre or post game? And I always just kind of slough it off of like, it's never going to happen. Friday, it's going to happen. He's going to do the post game show.
Nice.
We're going to let him do it because the perfect storm has happened. And so Jared Stillman is going to host the Predators post game show.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
it's going to be awesome. You and I are going to be in Miami. Robbie's got NHL duties. Max is flying out with the team. So I was like, all right, big boy, you're up.
Oh, okay. And he can't go over our allotted time on Friday because we have a show from Miami.
Yeah, that's true.
Friday.
Yeah, so he'll have to, keep within the lines there.
Can
but
he go a whole post game without talking about Will Levis?
Probably.
I
He'll be
don't
fine.
know.
He'll be
Okay.
good. He'll be fine.
I'll listen. We'll see.
You and I are going to kind of be on his show today too.
That's
a
right.
little bit. Kind
Can't
of fill
wait.
in. He's
Yeah.
got some stuff going on, so
All right.
we'll hold it down for him.
Look forward to it.
Coming up next, you alluded to the college football playoff,
Yes, sir.
and I think I agree with you. We'll discuss
Mhm.
coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you kiss me once.
Well, Dwight Yoakam bringing us back here on this Wednesday. Jason Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Thanks to Philip Forsberg for joining us. John McClain at 9:30. Derek Mason at 10. We'll be with him this weekend.
We
So
will.
it'll be fun. Coach Derek Mason. I
Coach
should
Derek
say.
Mason. That's right.
By the way, I'm gonna throw something at him for an off season, but I have an idea for him.
You gonna throw it at him? That's kind of rude.
Well, toss it out there.
Okay.
You know what I mean.
All right.
Yeah. But the college football ranking. So I've decided that it is so much more fun, these ranking shows that they do to give them something to talk about with 12 than it was with 4. Because I just feel like the complaining is even better.
Yes. I'm a big fan of the 4. I don't like the
Sure.
expanding, but I like the chaos it's causing right now, which is wonderful. And as I said before the break, and I like when you agree with me, somehow, some way, Alabama's getting in this. I'm not sure how, but Alabama's getting in this.
I'm going to say I'm here. Here's why I agree with you right now, because I think they're trying their best to get them in there, but they're not going to. You know why?
Why?
Because I think Auburn's going to beat them.
Oh, okay. I can see that happening.
I think Alabama fans probably like, what did he just say?
Right.
They almost did last year, but
Yeah.
but like I have this funny feeling that rivalry weekend is going to change some things, because you're going to have some teams that are going to walk in there and I just think Alabama's beat up. I just think now they're just like whatever, and he doesn't have the same magic that Saban had, but I could see that. But right now, I mean, they have Alabama's 13th. So they're they're like the first team out.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I know it's going to change, but Tennessee, Georgia in the first round.
No.
Penn
no.
State, Indiana. Like, come on. We can do better than that.
I'm looking to see, and I can't find it. Who does Arizona State play this week? Is it Arizona?
Yeah, they have them in right now.
They have them right now. And is that Arizona that plays them? I'm trying to find the game when it is.
It is Arizona, yeah. At Arizona.
At Arizona. All right. Why am I not seeing this? But anyway, Arizona, similar to, there it is. It's at 2:30 on Fox. Arizona, similar to Vanderbilt, you could create havoc within Arizona State on your rival by knocking them out of the game. Same with Vanderbilt. You knock Tennessee out, they're not getting in. You knock Arizona State out, they're not getting in. And you had a good point yesterday. If Arizona State loses, Tennessee loses, South Carolina beats Clemson, South Carolina's
They're
getting in.
Yeah.
And so is Alabama. And this sits there and creates all this great chaos for us on this all talk shows across America. But man, I'm telling you what, South Carolina is going to get in this thing if they get some opportunities fall their way. But we'll go closer to home. Vanderbilt and Tennessee. I'm telling you, generational wise, this is the biggest game that Vanderbilt football has ever had. You can
Agreed.
argue me all day. I will fight your argument, because what's at stake? You knock out the team you hate the most, you dislike the most in Tennessee, and you knock them out of the inaugural college football playoff. And you have the opportunity at home on Saturday in front of all the Tennessee fans to do it and get it done. I can't wait for this game.
Yeah, because here's the deal. I think we can sit here and we can agree that there are a handful of teams that with a 12-team playoff, they should be in or within contention every year. And Tennessee, quite frankly, is in that group. Whether they have been, people might be like, well, they haven't been very good the last 20 years, overall. I get it. And that's the problem.
Right.
Because for a long time, they were considered a powerhouse in college football. They didn't win all the championships, but they were still there. They were in the hunt every year. But, you got your blue bloods that I think have to be there. Alabama is one of them, and they're probably going to miss it. Maybe. I don't know. I've seen crazier things happen, so you never know. But Texas, Miami, I mean, but that I think is obviously on Vanderbilt's mind. And look, Vandy's had, they've played well even in losses, especially LSU.
Yep.
And they're looking for that rebound, and it would be huge. It would be like winning a national championship.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
If they beat Tennessee Is that a bigger win than beating the number one team in the country in Alabama?
No, but it's up there
I say it's the biggest win in Vanderbilt's history if they beat Tennessee
to knock them out.
to knock them out. And it's
Wow.
not South Carolina or LA, it's Tennessee.
Yeah.
Vandy fans cannot stand Tennessee. Now, it bothers Vandy fans because Tennessee kind of dismisses them because Tennessee's worried about Florida and Georgia and
Right.
Alabama.
Right.
And so Vanderbilt feels like they're ignored. And what's the mommy dearest? You will not ignore me. So that's the thing is that you will not ignore me, and you go out on Saturday and you beat Tennessee. And I'm telling you, Clark Lee, if I'm Clark Lee, that's the message. This could be so great if you beat Tennessee on Saturday that we can't even kind of fathom the possibilities after the game what happens.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're right, because it changes the landscape of college football, and also I think it changes the landscape of Vanderbilt moving forward. You know, like there's this whole thing with Pavia. He wants to come back. You know, he wants another year
Right.
there. You know, if he's doing that, you got others going, well, hey, yeah, we got something special here. You know, I mean, and you know, there might be other players that are looking to transfer from their situation. They go, you know, Clark Lee's got something pretty cool going there. You know, maybe we need to go to Nashville.
Yep.
And so I mean, and all it takes is one really good year to kind of change how people view you, especially in today's college football.
Yeah. Keep
And all of a sudden, you know,
yeah.
you get a stud receiver, you get a stud linebacker that are like, you know, maybe they're at Alabama or Texas, not playing a lot because of numbers. They look at Vandy and they go, Nashville sounds nice.
Yep.
I bet I could get a, you know, couple million NIL and
Well,
go there.
even it's better than nothing. I mean, what do these guys play for, right? They football. I love college football, but they all want to play on Sundays, and I don't blame them, right? Are you going to get there being the third team safety at Tennessee, or drop down at Vanderbilt and be the
No.
starting safety?
because I mean, look, what do they play for? The answer to that question changed 4 or 5 years ago.
Mhm.
I mean, because now you're right, they want to play on Sundays, but realistically, most of them will not. But they now have an opportunity they've never had before, and that is to make money, generation, you know, changing money, game changing money for
Right.
them. You know, if a kid goes and like he's good enough to be one of the best players in college football, but he knows he's probably not, you know, going to be great in the NFL.
Mhm.
If he can make a couple million in college, like as long as he's smart with it, he's set.
Yeah, do it. Take advantage of the opportunities and get it done. You just talked yourself into Vanderbilt this being the biggest game ever. I like that. I like
I
when
did.
people talk themselves into
Yeah.
it. So you do. No, the Alabama game was huge.
I think they mean different things.
Exactly.
I think Vanderbilt beating Alabama was the true David Goliath. Vanderbilt beating Tennessee to keep them from the playoff is like little brother beating big brother.
It is. It is. You know what's funny? We have our good friend Dagwood down the street on the buzz. We love Dagwood. He's already convinced himself that he's a huge Tennessee fan.
Oh yeah, he thinks Vandy's going to win.
He goes, he goes,
I picked Vandy and underdogs.
what's the spread?
11.
Is it 11?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be like 4 or 5, man. My good. Are you winning that little thing y'all do? A little
No,
game
I'm
y'all
second
play?
right now.
Who's winning?
Chris Sanders.
Chris Sanders? Okay. Oh, well, good then. No, I just think it's, and here's the best thing. You got the Vanderbilt game on this station Saturday.
We do. Here's my favorite thing about what we do. People have selective hearing.
Mhm.
Because what did I just say about Tennessee being a powerhouse? I said they haven't been in
Yeah.
like the last 20 years, but they should be.
Yes.
That's what I said, right?
Yes.
Not 6166. Tennessee has not been considered a powerhouse in college football. That's revisionist history. Come on, Chase. Until recently, they've been mediocre at best. 26 years since. Not in the conversation since. Thank you. I just said that.
Yeah, they should be. Every year, they should be in the talk. They should be. With
I'm
the
like,
program
that's the
facilities.
problem. Like
Yes.
they're trying to get back to that. They need to get back to that. And they got the right people in place to do it.
Oh, they do. I mean, they went to the SEC finals in 01, 04, and 07 and lost all those. And then Kiffin screwed them over. And then Dooley was awful. Then Butch shows up. And then Pruitt. I mean, you guys went through some things. And now you've righted the ship. And Josh Heupel, we talk about when he came in there in January of 2021. Hell, half of Knox County transferred out. And the job he's done so far is remarkable. And if they win on Saturday, which they probably have a great shot of doing that, then they're 10-2 in the College Football playoffs. And you look at where they were in 2020 to where they are now, Josh Heupel deserves a lot of credit for this. But you got to win on Saturday against a team that loves nothing more than to knock you out.
I will say this, though. This is what Tennessee needs. Looking at it from their side of things, they need to take care of business against Vanderbilt, and they need to do it convincingly. And then they need a little bit of help, because I think in the first round they need to be able to have that game at Neyland.
Oh, yeah.
I don't trust them to go on the road in the first, especially if they got to go back to Georgia, or they got to go to South Bend, or they got to, like, that game needs to be at Neyland.
Well, just win that game, and I think things will change out where they will have that game at Neyland. I don't want to see Tennessee, Georgia.
I don't either. Not in the first round.
No.
Now, if it's like the semifinals or the national championship or something, like, okay, I'll give you that. That's
Yes.
fine. But not in the first round. Steven has a comment on the Vols real quick before we get to John McClain. Steven, what's up?
What's up, guys? So yeah, Vandy has a chance to win this game 100%. But the reason I'm calling is I've been thinking since watching Heupel's offense, I believe that we've already seen the best that it can be. Basically, in the first 2 years with Hendon Hooker, especially that second year with Hendon, I just think that is the best version of Heupel's offense that we will see while he's here, which isn't a bad thing. That offense was dynamite. But do you think that the Hendon Hooker second year is the best version of Heupel's offense we'll ever see? Thanks, guys.
Thanks for the call, Steven.
It
is a great question. And here's what I will say to that. I want to see a second, well, I guess technically a third year, but a second year as a starter with Nico. Like, let's see how he progresses. If he progresses like he should, then I think the answer to the question is no. I think you'll see more with Nico running the show, because I think Nico's a better athlete than Hendon Hooker. I think Hendon Hooker is a better quarterback right now today, but I think Nico's a better athlete. The thing is, I've seen a lot of mistakes from Nico that worry me, but I also go, okay, he's young. He's really young. Maybe he's going to grow out of some of those things.
Well, he's been there 2 years. He's missed a lot of receivers, man. A lot of receivers.
And that concerns me.
Mhm.
And so show me another year of progression, and, then let's talk. We'll see. Coming up next, John McClain. He was funny on Twitter the other night or other day as the Predator Titans took on the Houston Texans. We'll talk about that and much more with him here on Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. 90s country, keeping it going today on this Wednesday. Chasing Big Joe with you. 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We always enjoy our conversations with John McClain. HoustonTexans.com is where you can find his work. John, I got to tell you, your tweets on Sunday were pretty entertaining.
Well, thank you. I have a good time tweeting about the Texans when they're bad. That was the worst loss of D'Amico Ryans' 2 seasons, and he and his staff, especially Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator and play caller, and C.J. Stroud are just getting roasted on Thanksgiving week for losing a game to the 2-8 Titans, who, 32 points when they'd only scored 20 once in the last 6 games and only twice for the season. And I've been telling everybody what I tweeted and wrote, that they made Will Levis look like Warren Moon. And those long passes, average 11 per completion, were amazing. I'll tell you guys a very interesting stat, couple of them. And I'll put it from the Titans' perspective. Only 5 times in 40 years as a team allowed 8 sacks, turned it over 3 times and won. And the Texans have 42 sacks. They're second in the league. They lead the league in pressures and tackles for loss. As you guys saw, Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. are beasts coming off the edge, but they lead the league with 24 touchdown passes. I can't figure that one out. I've asked coaches, I've asked players. All I can think about are the safeties. Now, they have a rookie, Kalen Bullock, who's played well, but their other safeties are slow. And when Jalen Petrie went out, Jimmy Ward went down to the slot, and the Titans probably got 2 touchdown passes against Eric Murray, who's a special teams player. But it was a great performance by the Titans. And I'm sure everybody's like, well, why can't you do that more often? and that's a mystery. But I tell you what, as you guys know, watching Levis over the last 3 weeks, I think this is the first time he's been great. And his teammates had a lot to do with that, of course, catching the ball, Tony Pollard running the ball. And the defensive line was great as always, just totally stuffed the running game because they did a great job of defending the cutback lanes. Instead of going to Joe Mixon when he got the ball, they just filled in the cutback lanes, and he had nowhere to go. And then Simmons always dominates the Texans. Sweat dominated the Texans. And one of the many reasons we're killing Bobby Slowick, who was the fair-haired boy last season, is because he faced a 3rd and 1, and the last thing you want to do is go up the middle, and that's exactly what he called a handoff up the middle to Joe Mixon, got stuffed where everybody in the stadium knew that's the last place you should go. So congratulations to the Titans. Now, if somehow they're able to upset the Commanders, who've lost 3 in a row, even though it's late in the season, and if Levis plays again, you guys might have, if he keeps it up, you might have your quarterback.
Woo! So I'm curious of this because, by the way, to add to your stats, I don't know if you saw Mike Sando's stat that he put out there. After Will Levis did it in Houston, starting quarterbacks are 3-33 since 1960 when taking 8 sacks and having an interception return for a touchdown.
3-33, 1960. That's hilarious. 8 sacks and a return. Well, it's just another piece of positive history for the Titans. And you got to figure at some point Levis will learn to get rid of the ball quicker, and because he can't keep taking that beating like he took, and that's something he's got to learn. He threw the pick six. Pick sixes happen. When's the last time he had a bad play? That wasn't a stupid play. That was just a bad play, and baited by Jimmy Ward, a savvy veteran. But I thought Levis looked so good. He didn't have to run a lot. He ran 8 times, I think, and they shut him down. But I can't imagine Titans people not be excited about that game.
Absolutely. Talking to John McClain on the Chase and Big Joe show. John, what did you see because we see the Titans every week and you get to watch them on TV and bits and pieces like that. But what did you see from them on Sunday that really impressed you more than anything else about this Tennessee Titans football team?
The way they shut down what had been a good running game. Joe Mixon coming off his 100-yard game, which had tied Saquon Barkley for the most in the league, won over Derrick Henry. And they limited him to 1.6 yards a carry. And he had 3 touchdowns in the previous game. And it was great defensive strategy, and the players carried it out great. And when you're running against an outside zone team, your inclination is to take off in the direction that all the blockers are going and try to get to the back, who plants his foot, cuts, and looks for the open hole. But there was none because they didn't go after him until he got to the line of scrimmage. So I thought it was great coaching and great playing by the front seven of the Titans.
What did the Titans expose on the Texans that you thought, here we go? What was one thing of the Texans that they were doing really good? I know you talk about running the ball, but one kind of a flaw of this football team that the Titans exposed?
The only other time their running game was shut down was against Detroit here. And same thing. They played the same style of strategy. Now, I don't know why the Cowboys didn't do it the week before, but Detroit filled those lanes. It requires a lot of discipline besides being good and good coaching. So that's 2 teams that have done it. Texans go to the Jaguars. I just wrote a column for HoustonTexans.com about the Texans are on the verge of becoming the Jaguars from 2022 when they won the division, and last year they were heavily favored to win the division, and they started 8-3, and they've been like 3-14 ever since. Doug Peterson's on the verge of getting fired. So if Jacksonville plays that strategy, but you got strategy, but you still got to have the players to make the tackles, and that's what they did so well. I can't believe every team from here on out is not going to play that same strategy. And the Texans, after you play Jacksonville, have their bye week, but then they play Miami here. Tua Tagovailoa is playing great. Then they go to Kansas City. Then they play Baltimore here, and that's on Christmas Day. And then they close at the Titans, who just humiliated them. So if I'm Indianapolis and I'm really 3 games back, sweep and then getting swept and then two games behind them, I'm not giving up, because the Texans, if they lose to the Jaguars, I think they'll lose the rest of their games.
Oh, that's interesting. We will have more with John McClain coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Just about a mile off of 109, there's a little church sitting back in the pines. I promised that girl she was gonna be mine. I wouldn't be surprised if she was standing there crying. Oh, I didn't know for now.
Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, the game here on this Wednesday. Will Shenandoah? This is a good one for sure.
Great.
Continuing our discussion with John McClain, HoustonTexans.com is where you can find his work. John, when Bud Adams was alive and after he had moved the team here, you know, and the Texans came into the league, it was always a big deal to go to Houston and win those games. He made sure everybody knew that it was a big deal.
Oh yeah.
Do you get the sense that it's the same with Amy, because that was brought up that, you know, like it's obviously a special one, or, you know, she's just happy to see her team go and get a division win?
Oh no. I mean, think about it. She grew up with Oilers. She went to all games. She was a fan of the Oilers, and now, or you know, she's just like her dad. She just doesn't express it as much. You know, Bud wouldn't hide it, but I think Amy's been very quiet. I think the players understand what it meant to her by giving her the game ball, and I'll guarantee you, she cherishes that game ball more than any that wasn't a playoff victory or a victory that secured the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Daniel Jones to the Vikings. What do you make of that move?
He's, you know, it's interesting. Sam Darnold will be somewhere else next year. J.J. McCarthy's going to be their starting quarterback. So Darnold, if he keeps it up, is going to make a lot of money. So Daniel Jones, you know, does he want to compete with McCarthy? No. I think he's just doing it because they gave him the best deal, a team that has a chance to make the playoffs. He could have gone somewhere like the Raiders and been the starter because they're so bad, but everybody said he wanted to go for a playoff team. I think that's a really good move for the Vikings to get a backup who's been a starter for years.
John, right now, looking at everything, I mean to put you on the spot, who is the coach of the year in the National Football League, not named Dan Campbell?
Well, first of all, 3 weeks ago, Dan Quinn was running away with it.
Right.
And if you think about it, I tell you who's done a great coaching job is Sean Payton. To have the
Agreed.
albatross of the Russell Wilson contract, which they took the cap hit of, I think, $85 million, and he drafted Bo Nix because he thought Bo Nix was ideal for his system. And Bo Nix, barring an injury, is going to beat out Jaden Daniels for NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, and they got a chance to win a wild card berth. And I think that I don't even know if Peyton has ever been a coach of the year. People were talking about possibly Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh's beaten up on a bunch of bad teams. If you look at Pittsburgh, their record, they've won with a bunch of bad teams. I always look at the records like Philadelphia, Nick Sirianni, he's doing a great job, but in this winning streak. But if you look at who they're playing, I want to see teams that beat good teams. You know, Sean McDermott's doing a great job at Buffalo. There were people that had the Jets or Miami winning that division. So, but if I had to pick somebody right now, let me think. If there's in North, Kevin O'Connell's done a great job, but I think they were right on the verge last year of a wild card berth. So I would have to say Sean Payton.
He won it in 2007.
Well, this would be winning it twice with two teams, but it doesn't take much. Bo Nix has been playing great, not great for a rookie,
right,
but great. And if he can keep it up, their defense is really good. They're the only team that has more sacks than the Texans, and as long as they keep playing great defense and the quarterback doesn't turn it over, they got a chance. So right now, I'm penciling them in for a wild card berth.
John, I love what Derrick Henry is doing in Baltimore, but my goodness, I love what Saquon Barkley is doing in Philadelphia. Watching him run Sunday night was great. Is he going to make the running back position great again? Because I'm having fun watching them run the football.
They are fun. He's also an excellent receiver, leads the league at all-purpose yards. And because he's playing in Philadelphia, a huge media market, and because the New York, New Jersey media market loves to rub it in on the Giants, he's getting more publicity than Derrick Henry has gotten all season. And that highlight film in which he jumps over the guy backward, we're going to see that thing like we saw Jadeveon Clowney knock that kid's helmet off his last year at South Carolina. And it'll probably be the play of the year in the ESPYs. But Philadelphia, is it capable of winning the division? Of course it is. Washington's lost 3 in a row. If the Titans play in Washington, they're playing in Washington, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The way they played here, they can win that game, especially Will Levis and the defense getting after Jaden Daniels. So I don't see them as a threat, but Philadelphia's got great balance. When you can run the ball like Baltimore and Philadelphia and Detroit, although Detroit shouldn't have to play outdoors, when you're in the playoffs playing outdoors, you cannot, in January, you cannot beat a strong running game to take the pressure off the passing game in bad weather.
John, great stuff as always. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, and we will talk to you next week.
Jason Big Joe, same to you guys and all of your listeners. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. John McClain joining us here on the program as he does every Wednesday at 9:30. Always enjoy talking NFL with him. Coming up next, our weekly conversation with MTSU football coach Derek Mason. They wrap up their season at FIU. We'll talk to Coach Mason next. 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hour number 2, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game here on this Wednesday. He's Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier with you on the ones and the twos. We'll try and catch up with Derek Mason here in just a few minutes. He's also going to join us for a special show Friday. We're going to be in Miami with the Blue Raiders.
That's right. We'll be in our show from 5 to 6. We'll have a lot of great guests. Chip Walters will join us. Derek Mason will be there. Chris Massaro. A little MTSU heavy because we're going down to see MTSU take on Florida International. And then we're hanging out for a few days, and we'll tell you more about that later on. But it'll be a lot of fun. Thanks for the text line. You guys are great. We put out earlier, what are you thankful for? Because it's Thanksgiving, 615-737-1025. A lot of thankful for the Lord and your family and things that go on. And there's a few thankful for your college football teams as well, and for the Titans winning on Sunday. So a lot to be thankful for as we head into this forward. I think this is the best week of the year.
Yeah.
Everybody's nice. You got extra days off. You got a lot of football happening. So it's really cool.
Well, and I love the Thanksgiving triple header. You know, the tradition. Do you think that they should keep the tradition of the Lions and Cowboys playing on Thanksgiving?
Absolutely.
I do too. You know, people have complained about it, especially, you know, the Lions were so bad for so long. It's like, why do they get a Thanksgiving game? And then the Cowboys, it's
right.
Like whatever. But there's something about the early game, you know, in Detroit and watching that. And then like my family, knew that at 3:00 we leave Chase alone and we let him watch the Cowboys.
And by 4:00, Chase is asleep on the couch.
Probably.
I don't know if this is urban legend or not. Maybe Joe Rexroad could weigh in on this. But for years it was like, get the Lions off TV. And the urban legend is that the Lions owner went to NFL and said, you pull us off, we pull all of our advertising at Ford.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do that.
I wouldn't.
So I
wouldn't put that past him.
It sounds plausible, but now, I mean, you got Detroit, which is the best team in the National Football League. People watching tomorrow. Because you remember the one year, and I love these games, because the Titans went up there in 2008 and just beat the snot out of them.
That was the 0-16 year, right?
Yeah. Remember when – did we have a call?
No.
Okay. Remember when Aretha Franklin did the national anthem? It was like 14 minutes long.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. I'm like, she gets the pass. Nobody else gets the pass. Aretha gets the path for singing so long to do that. So it's always a fun show, fun event. And now, especially with the Lions being so good, even better.
Yeah. And so that'll be a fun one. And then let's see. So you got Bears, Lions, Cowboys, Giants, and then the nightcap, Green Bay hosting Miami. So 3 decent games. And then Friday, they've added the Black Friday game, Kansas City and Vegas.
And that's only on
prime. That's the prime game.
Okay.
Prime. That's like the Thursday game because you have CBS has Detroit, Fox has Dallas, NBC has the night game.
Okay.
So it'll be good.
I won't be seeing any of that Friday game, but that's because we'll
be on a plane.
Yes.
Maybe we watch on the plane.
Not this plane.
Oh, okay.
Just thankful that we get there safe and sound.
Is this like
it's not a Spirit.
Is this like the Major League plane?
Got propellers on both sides.
No, it's a great plane.
Take off positions.
No, we'll be good to do all that. No, but it's it's football. And then what's Friday's game, the college football slate? I had it up a second ago. There's only a couple.
Yeah, they've kind of wrecked that, haven't they?
You've got there's more than a couple.
The Egg Bowl should be on Thanksgiving. I'm really, really mad that it's not. The only college football game tomorrow is Memphis at Tulane, which I think will be a good game. But I want the Egg Bowl.
Oh, that Memphis Tulane will be a great game.
Yeah.
It was good. Remember for years it was Nebraska and Oklahoma on this weekend, and they changed it now. Oklahoma State, Colorado tomorrow. But I love the fact we talked about Dabo. They came to Dabo and like, hey, we want you to switch your Clemson game to Saturday to Friday and all that. And he's like, no, we're keeping our game where it is. I think that Clemson South Carolina game, it's 11 o'clock on ESPN. I really think that might be the best game of the weekend.
Yeah, it'll be a good one.
A&M and Texas is good, but this South Carolina Clemson game is something.
So Friday, you have Oregon State, Boise State at 11, Oklahoma State, Colorado at 11, the Egg Bowl, Mississippi State at Ole Miss at 2:30, and the nightcap Friday, Georgia Tech, Georgia.
Yeah, not
at
bad.
6:30, and then Saturday you got a full day. Tennessee, Vandy, Michigan, Ohio. Man, the best games are at 11. Tennessee, Vandy, Michigan, Ohio State, South Carolina, Clemson. And then at 2:30 you got Notre Dame, USC, Maryland, Penn State, Miami, Syracuse, Cal, SMU, the Iron Bowl, Arizona State, Arizona, Arkansas, Missouri. And then the night games: Washington, Oregon, Texas A&M, K-State, Iowa State, Houston, BYU.
I'm not saying it's happening, but keep an eye on that Louisville, Kentucky game. I don't have any inklings or anything, but I just think this could be, if it's a bad performance and Louisville takes them down, I think we might be seeing the end of Stoops.
You're on that.
You
think
I think Kentucky fans, I think he's peaked, and they know it's not going to be better.
Look, I think he's peaked too, and I think he flirted with other jobs a lot, and now it's like, okay, it's come back down, but they've given him so many contract extensions that, like, what's the buyout?
Yeah. That's all of them got buyouts.
I know, but it just, and like for a team, like for a school like A&M or Texas or whatever, like they don't care. They'll pay it. They'll go to, Bobby and go, Bobby, we need to get rid of the coach. All right, here you go.
Yeah, right. Bingo. But then again, I mean, if you get rid of him, I mean, who do you bring in? And that's the thing. I mean, there are 5 openings in the American Athletic Conference. And I'm telling you, if I am one of these schools, I'm looking at Eddie George.
Oh yeah.
The name, the recognition, he's a winner in everything he's done. Eddie George has been a winner. And that Temple job is open. He's from Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's it.
Nobody's told me anything.
Interesting one.
I'm just telling you, man.
You're connecting dots. That's what you're doing.
I do connect dots.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're good at it.
Yep.
Gator Mike wants to weigh in on our conversation. Hello, Mike.
Happy Thanksgiving, fellas. How you doing?
You too, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Chase, who had Billy Napier at 7-5 at the end of the football season on their bingo card?
Not us.
Not us. That's correct. What a turnaround for my team. Take down 2 top 25 ranked teams back-to-back weeks, and obviously going to put the hammer down on Mike Norvell this week. So, definitely I'm very thankful for not only you all, but also my Florida Gator football team turning it around.
Well, I will tell you this. You told us back, and this is after week 1, you said, and I hate giving you compliments. You said Napier is the right guy. Give him time. I'm like, no, there's no more that's give him time anymore. And look, he's got a quarterback, right? The quarterback is doing excellent. Hello?
Yeah, and then he's done well. All of his portal additions have done well. And most of the playmakers, that have contribute week in and week out, I mean, a couple of upperclassmen, but the majority of them are freshmen or sophomores. So he's definitely got something to build on. And I told you all, I didn't think they were going to get rid of him even when it went bad. They were going to give him 1 year with his guy, which was DJ Lagway, which we see now. That's what he had been hitting for. And, these guys love him. They play hard for him. So I'm kind of glad to see that it's finally turning around for him. And, hopefully they can build off of that with extra bowl game practices and going into next season and so forth like that. But, Joe, somebody else that gets talked about a lot at the lower ranks is Kerwin Bell. Everywhere he's gone, he's done well. He gets brought up for different places, Jacksonville and other places like that. So,
well, he is no Walt Wells, so we'll put Kerwin Bell aside on that.
Correct.
Hey, let me ask you this about Napier. Yep. Now, you know this program well. Did Nick Saban do him a disservice when Nick Saban said the best assistant he's ever had was Billy Napier? Did that hurt or help Billy Napier?
I think it kind of hurt because it kind of puts a lot of expectations on the guy, like it's a slam dunk thing. I mean, I think a lot of people thought he'd come in from what he did at Louisiana and so forth and kind of look like Kirby going to Georgia, and that just wasn't going to happen with the way Mullen had left the program. But, when things are going bad, I liked where, Nick was also defending him, saying, it's more than just an on-the-field issue. You had a lot of stuff with Florida Victorious and the athletic administration and so forth. So, I think having a lot of those people that really know the game and the insides and outs of everything and, worked with Billy at different places along the way kind of saw the big picture. And, I'm glad that they did make a rush decision in the middle of the season because, the guy that a lot of the Florida fans wanted, he just beat last week. So, I'm happy going forward, and hopefully we'll just continue to build. And, the defense is finally looking like a Florida defense that it hasn't looked like in a long time. So good things going forward for sure. But happy Thanksgiving to you and your families, and always great to talk to you guys.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving.
He talked as long as Willie does.
Well,
Good Lord.
we'll send him a bill for that for a segment.
I was about to say, is that Billy Napier or Gator Mike on the phone?
Gator Mike presented by
Oh, man.
615-737-1025. That is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll have more coming here on Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel. 1025, 1063 The Game.
Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw 'em in the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night.
Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game here on this Wednesday. We do this show every day from 9 to 11. So if you're a Cromwell employee, please remember that and stop texting me while I'm on the air. Thank you.
I'm going to
I feel
text you
better.
right now. This song goes out to Billy Napier from Louisiana to Florida, making it happen. We were wrong. We were wrong. We were wrong about him getting fired. I mean, we're wrong about a lot of things.
We're wrong about him. We're wrong about South Carolina. Like I mean, that's fine. That's
Sam Pittman.
Sam Pittman. Well, I'm not 100% convinced yet, but we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. But we'll see on that. I got a non-sports thing that I just saw on social media. I guess it's your buddy Mick Barris from Channel 5.
What do you do
now? Did you see that Metro is changing the look of some of their police cars?
Did not.
They are putting for the first time in decades, they're rebranding some of the new police vehicles. Today, they're putting 16 silver and gray Ford Explorers into service with the Nash PD logo. Many of these will be assigned to the entertainment district unit. It's a completely different look. And I know it's like who cares, but I'm just like, why?
Is it blue? I mean, blue and gray is what's the blue and gray color? I mean, Tennessee State's blue. Don't they have blue and gray sometimes?
Yeah, but it doesn't look like TSU. It does kind of, I don't know. It does like I've always thought that the Metro look was just like you saw the white car with the blue stripe and all that stuff. I don't know.
Nash PD.
Yeah.
Great. And that's another color I got to look out for when I'm speeding.
And that's why they're doing it. They've changed it up because then you're not used to it.
Yeah, it looks like a mom vehicle, like a mom going to the mall. That's exactly what it looks like. Oh, great. Now we get tickets with this. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
there you go.
good for them. God bless the men and women of the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department. My uncle was a motorcycle cop for, 25, 30 years.
Really?
Yeah. They were called Newman's Riders or Raiders or something. And a big, strong police group on motorcycles for many, 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 many years. He's a good man. Good man.
615-737-1025. So Daniel Jones to the Vikings. He's going to sign with the practice squad. My guess is maybe the market wasn't there for him like he thought it would be. I thought he'd go to Dallas. I just thought that made a ton of sense to bring him into Dallas, but maybe Dallas is going to get smart and go to Trey Lance, which is what they need to do to see if there's anything there with Trey Lance.
What if there is?
Then you got trade bait because you just signed Dak Prescott to a
true.
deal.
All right. Well, then keep two quarterbacks.
Yeah. So I just what it tells me is Minnesota is just not confident that Sam Darnold can take them the whole way. They're getting an insurance policy, which I don't know if Daniel Jones is much of one. But
I think coaches love to take other teams' trash, and I don't mean trash in a bad way, but trash, and kind of make it something. Say, look what we've done and all that. I think it's just I think it's a non-story, and I don't think Daniel Jones makes any impact. He was terrible with the Giants, but he's like Albert Hainsworth. You know why? When the contract came up, what did Albert do? Was the most unstoppable force in football.
Yeah.
When Daniel Jones had to produce, he was amazing. Led the playoff win over the Vikings in 2021. Looked really good. And then after that, he was, what's going on here? Albert was the same way, man. Albert in 2008, still to this day, was the most dominating defensive football player I've seen with my own eyes. Now, you can go back to 85 Bears, Ray Lewis and all that. I'm telling you, Hainsworth in 2008 was a force in football that nobody could stop. We saw it every single game. Now, he had help with Van Den Bosch, Tony Brown, and Javon Curse was there as well.
Did he win Defensive Player of the Year?
I don't remember. He should have. But he was amazing. Hainsworth, that's the most dominant performance defensive-wise I've ever seen from somebody in football. You couldn't stop him. If you remember that,
it was James
season.
Harrison.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I'll take Hainsworth over Harrison in 08. I know the Steelers won the Super Bowl. I don't care. Hainsworth double teamed and just killed people on the field, man. Then he got the big deal, went to Washington, and he quit. And he admits he quit. He says he quit.
So get this. In the AP voting for NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Albert's on it, but where do you think he is? Where do you think he was ranked?
4th.
You are correct. It was James Harrison, DeMarcus Ware from Dallas.
Nope.
Ed Reed from Baltimore, Albert, then Troy Polamalu.
No.
And Albert only got 10% of the votes.
No. I mean, they're all great players. DeMarcus, Ed Reed is an amazing player, but I'm telling you, 2008, nobody was better than Albert.
So James Harrison in 15 games, 67 tackles, 16 sacks, 1 interception. DeMarcus Ware, 16 games, 69 tackles, 20 sacks. I don't know why he didn't get it. Ed Reed had 9 interceptions, 2 for touchdowns. Albert, 41 tackles, 10 sacks, or 8.5 sacks in 14 games.
Stop right there. He was double teamed
Right.
almost
and still had
every
8.5 sacks.
single play. Bullock had a great year because of him. I mean, Bullock will tell you he had a great year because of what Albert swallowed up the middle of the field. Van Bosch was able to unleash. Tony Brown took off some of that pressure as well. Javon was good. And you look at just what Albert did, and it was amazing. Just amazing how teams scheme for him and try to figure everything else out on that part. That's why Finnegan and Chris Hope and Michael Griffin had great years, because Albert got so much pressure on the quarterback that oftentimes they only rush 4 guys. So that's the thing with Albert. That's why with Daniel Jones, I'm like, Albert went to Washington, and my goodness, it was after that it was awful. But that 08 team and that defense starting out 10-0, and as Fisher talked about, they let Brett Favre come here and beat him, and they went 3-3 down the stretch and got beat by the Ravens in the playoffs, led by Derek Mason. And I don't know if we'll ever see that kind of dominating performance again.
Yeah. I don't know. 615-737-1025. It's a really good question. I mean, and that's kind of the thing with the NFL is, you ask who scares you now, like players that really just, you cannot take. I mean, Derrick Henry's having a scary year. Saquon Barkley's having a scary year, but we've seen them be contained too. Like they're having really good offensive years, but defensively, like who's that guy now?
I don't know. That's the thing we've talked about all year long. I don't know who that guy is across the National Football League. Is it Aiden Hutchinson? Was really good.
Yeah,
he's hurt.
TJ Watt's really good.
I don't know anymore. And I'm looking at all the teams. I don't know if somebody standing there was like absolutely scares you to death. I mean, is it maybe TJ Watt now for what he's done? I don't know.
I mean, I think there are guys that get respect, and then there are guys that scare you. And Max Crosby deserves respect. Micah Parsons deserves respect. Myles Garrett deserves respect. Fred Warner, TJ Watt. But who is that guy? Like you hear his name, you're like, oh man, I don't want to play him.
No, the Chiefs are 10-1. Tell me their top defensive player.
They've Chris Jones.
They got one. Yeah, that's it. I mean, he's a great player. Does he scare you? No, you got to be accountable for him. You got to know where he is.
He's a great player.
Yeah. And you go down the league. I mean, the Lions have 4 or 5 guys on defense who play really, really, really well. Do they scare you? No. And that's the thing we lost with football now, is that you don't have kind of those headhunters. What's going on? The Eagles defense, there's about 8 guys in there I don't want to face, but do they truly frighten you? No, but they're damn good.
I feel like today, it wouldn't surprise me if the NFC Championship game is Detroit and Philly.
Yeah. Uh-oh. All right, God bless you, buddy.
Thank you.
Our friend Nick Barris weighs in. Patrick Surtain. He shuts down half the field. But I'm not scared of him.
Yeah. That's not a bad look, it's not a bad one.
And I'm not scared of you either, Nick Barris.
Hey Nick, thanks for posting the police car pictures, because I got distracted and had to talk about it on the radio.
He's like a little kid with a shiny new toy.
Hey, we need to talk about this. Oh man. It's one of the, it kind of goes back to the NFL. The product's just not good. We watch it, but it's like meh.
And it's been this way for several years.
You know what? All right, I'm going to use this comparison, and some of the nerds out there will go with me on this. From 2007 till about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, pro wrestling, it was WWE, and that was it. Now there were other companies, but it was really WWE, and that was it. And the product, quite frankly, sucked. It just wasn't very good. It was predictable. It was boring. But guess what? People that loved wrestling, they watched it because that was it. Now, then there was kind of this revolution with the indies and Japan, and so like the true wrestling nerds went and found it elsewhere, and that forced WWE and the mainstream wrestling to get better. And then AEW was formed, and TNA got kind of a kick in the can, and they were doing better. And now the business is the best that it's ever been. Is the NFL ever going to face that? Because I don't think so, because there's never going to be competition.
Well, as long as the ratings are still sky high and off the chart, and the
Right.
drama, Aaron Rodgers, drama, he's an idiot, but we get sucked in with the drama with all that. And it's like wrestling. We get sucked in with all the drama. I mean, football is the greatest reality sport for us men. It is.
Yeah.
It's every week. And that's why we watch it and talk about it. When John McClain comes on, we love talking about that. But is there a little something off now? Yeah. Because there's a whole lot of average now with all that. That's why we're so excited about the college football playoff, because we got this chaos in these teams and these performances and these big games. We talk about an NFL team. Is any NFL team ever, their fans going to rush the field? They'll
No.
never do that. They will never do that. And I understand it.
And in the NFL, I don't want them to do that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
That's a college thing.
It is a college thing, but that's the passion
Yeah.
that we bring there. Football's going, I'll get the Super Bowl. Yeah. But there's no that's why the Lions is a great story. I would love to see them go there, because these teams have never been to the Super Bowl. I'd love to see them go to the Super Bowl. I'd love to see them play the Browns. Browns are terrible. They're not going to be there. But these are all things that we like and enjoy and see. A Detroit Kansas City Super Bowl would be amazing. That
Yeah.
would be such a great game.
Yeah. And I mean, it'll be Kansas City, Buffalo, and the winner of that game goes to the Super Bowl. Probably.
Okay. Buffalo, Detroit would be.
Woo-hoo. The NFL would hate that.
I
Hate
don't
it.
think so. Because you got
Well, maybe.
four-time team that didn't make it against the upstart, the Lions, who's never been there.
Do you think? Okay, all right. Let's talk about this coming up next, because I'm going to kind of go with you there. That I do think, because historically, they want the big markets. That's kind of what they look for. But I do think you're onto something there. It's Chase and Big Joe on this Wednesday, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
by. But I knew, Lord, it was breaking her heart. She was breaking mine. So for the sake of
David Lee Murphy on a 90s country day, a little party crowd.
Hold on, we're gonna keep it up here for a second because when he hits the main part here, that's good.
Singing Dr. Crane. Here we go.
Company, and tonight I'm looking for a party crowd. Slamming a back.
This came out, what, 93, 94?
Something in there, yeah.
Yeah.
This will be us tonight, boys. We're hitting the town tonight. We're honky talking tonight. When the jukebox jumping like it just don't care.
I've done this for karaoke a few times.
It's such a great song because it is a true like honky tonk. You're having fun. There's a fight. You're drinking beer. There's another fight.
I will make a, go ahead and just say this. We will get David Lee on the show soon.
Okay, I'd love it.
We'll get him on.
Huge fan.
So my favorite part about this song, that for those of you that have lived in Nashville for a long time, remember the great Carl P. Mayfield would do afternoon drive for many, many years. He did morning drive, did afternoon drive, just a legend in radio in this town. And my dad would pick me up from school, and we'd always listen to Carl in the afternoon when he was on WSIX. And they, on Fridays at like 5 o'clock, would play this song, and David would like call in or whatever, and it'd be, play this song, and it's kind of like the start of the weekend. And so that's why I've always loved this song.
It'd be like finally Friday.
Yeah, something like that.
And there it would be in there, man.
So to your point about, all right, we always talk about if the NFL could design the dream matchup in the Super Bowl, who would it be? A lot of it has to do with the media markets. They probably want the Cowboys and, like if they got Cowboys Chiefs because of Mahomes, they'd probably be happy. But if it was like Cowboys and Cowboys and Chargers, or Cowboys and Raiders, or Cowboys and Jets,
Okay.
big markets, whatever, they would do that. I think if the Lions got there, because it's like everybody's going to watch the worst team ever in the history of sports try and win a Super Bowl.
I'd love it.
With this, I don't mean this in a bad way, meathead of a head coach that is just like, looks like he's going to eat the wall off the,
Right.
like eat drywall. Like, he's like that guy. Like, it's the perfect story with a quarterback that, and we had Jeff Fisher on a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about Jared Goff, and that like he knew what Jared Goff could be. And I saw Jared Goff play his last college football game, throwing 6 touchdowns, and I'm like, this guy needs coaching, but he's got it. He's a talented dude.
And look at it now. And if you watch Campbell's post-game locker room talk, it's pretty damn good, man. You want to run through the wall for that guy, and you see how much they love him. And look, here's why I want Detroit Buffalo, because you got these two teams that are fan base is beloved. I mean, you look at the Bills, you know what their fan base is, and the Lions fan base, and Rex Road knows it. It's always been there, but they've accepted that, we're not going to do anything and be, this is our fate forever. And they're going to collide New Orleans. One of those teams is going to go home empty-handed. Will the Bills lose if the Bills get there? I mean, I would love to see that. They lose their 5th Super Bowl, or the Lions lose their 1st Super Bowl, being a great story, and the Bills get their 1st Super Bowl.
Right.
All these great stories come out of that. That's why I would love to see that Super Bowl. But I'm not sure the Chiefs are the team. I mean, they're on a wing and a prayer right now. And look, you win, you keep on winning. I get that, but you take Mahomes off that team.
Yeah, they're not.
They're good, but they're not elite.
I don't even think they're good.
They're 10-1. You got to say they're good.
What do they got to? I mean, like
They're
they added DeAndre Hopkins, right? I understand that, but like Kareem Hunt is okay as a running back.
That's why Mahomes.
Kelsey's elite, but he hadn't been very good this year.
The play where Mahomes was running into the end zone, and they were coming at him, and he flipped the ball to his left hand, non-looking at the receiver, wide open the end zone.
Mahomes, like they're 10-1. Mahomes is probably responsible for 8 of those.
Oh, easily.
Like, you take him off that team, if you put Daniel Jones as the quarterback of the Chiefs, that team's not very good. They're probably there with the Titans. That's how much of a difference Mahomes makes. I'm not gonna. Yeah, they're 10-1. They're pretty good because of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man, as well. So, I mean, that's the thing. Is like there's all these great possibilities we could see with all that. We're getting a lot of response to Clemson, South Carolina on our text line because we talked about because we feel you and I are in agreement somehow, and I didn't mean to switch the thing here, but I wanted to address this, that somehow South Carolina is going to find their way into the playoffs.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
They're 50. They knock off, and they need a few things to happen for them. Mainly Vanderbilt beating Tennessee, Auburn beating Alabama. It could happen, and they beat Clemson. Then South Carolina kind of shoehorns himself into the playoff, and the South Carolina fans are now coming out like, all right, now we can talk smack. We haven't been able to in so many years, and now they're able to do that. So and that game's at 11 on Saturday. So you saw, and I've said this for a long time. There's no reason South Carolina should not be a good program year in, year out. And I get Clemson's in your state. I understand that. But still, you got to stop losing talent out of state. Tennessee, Albert was from somewhere in South Carolina. A lot of great Tennessee players from South. Chris Hope, former Tennessee Titan from South Carolina, went to Florida State. You got to keep these guys in state. Maybe now because of the NIL, you could do that.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think, okay, if they came to you and they said, hey, Joe, this is what we're going to do with college football. We're going to get rid of conference championships. We're basically going to say 32 teams get into the playoffs. We're going to do, basically the NFL. They're going to try and do NFL divisions and however you want to do that. And that's how it'll be. And that way you'll get, 3-4 lost teams that get in, a South Carolina or whatever. And then you can truly say they're going to duke it out and figure out who the best one is.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, would that make you happy? Yeah. I mean, because it's going to 16.
Yep.
And you could easily do like 4 divisions of 4.
What's wrong with what we got now?
There's nothing wrong with it. But they're going to keep changing it. There was nothing wrong with 4.
Only thing I want to see.
There was really nothing wrong with the BCS except for they screwed themselves when Auburn went undefeated and didn't get to play.
I want to see, because of 12 games, if you got 16 SEC teams, I want to see 10 SEC games. You can have your 2 cupcakes.
Yeah,
that's fine. But I want to see, and when you do that, I don't want to take away from the FCS programs. Like when Chattanooga went to Tennessee and played, they got a nice big fat paycheck. It helps Chattanooga fund their team. I get all that. That's fine when you can do things like that. But also like Tennessee, Kent State, Chattanooga, UTEP. I know they had to go play NC State. I get that. But I'd rather see UTEP replaced with Missouri.
I agree.
And so
that's why I think you let the group of 5 go do their own thing when it comes to a championship. Based on what you're just saying,
no.
That's why you do that. No. Let them you can have some crossover. But like it's completely unfair if you're going to set it up this way.
Right.
That because you're going to have one group of 5 team get a shot at it, and they're going to get knocked out the first round.
2 great crossovers. Allen Iverson had a hell of a crossover.
He did, yeah.
Faith Hill, she really hit the country charts and
the pop charts.
She had Breathe, and that she's a crossover artist.
Yeah, that's true.
So I see you're correct in your assessment.
That's good. Coming up next, what day is it? And celebrity birthdays. We will do that next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Dr. Crane with the walk-off. A good one for sure. The late, great Joe Diffie. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. By the way, Jelly Roll was at Bridgestone Arena last night.
Yep.
Snoop Dogg showed up.
Snoop.
How about that? How'd it go? You guys
We sang White Lightning together. Taylor and
I bet that was great.
We said,
I saw your post.
G-Man, nah, nah, nah. So it was just really quick on the stage and off. And I call him Jason. Yeah, you call him Jelly Roll.
Yeah,
So we had a
that's
good
fine.
time.
You guys go way back.
We do.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I saw your picture, and everybody was asking, "Did Joe go and sing with Jelly Roll?" And I said, "Yeah, I think so." I think it was. I don't. Was it the main stage or was it the private backstage show?
Both.
Both. Okay.
We did a backstage, and we did a private one for Sheriff Darren Hall.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's actually three of
I
them.
came down. You invited me for the private show, and Sean Henry said I couldn't come in. So
Yeah, Sean wasn't invited either.
yeah. Man, that's probably why, but that's okay. It's fine. With that, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays.
All right, gentlemen. A lot of these on this list are a little different. Some of them are different. We have first
We're
one,
all a little different.
National Electric Guitar Day. So there's that.
I played that last night.
How about that?
Yeah.
So you play regular guitar and electric guitar.
Yep.
Oh yeah. If it's got 6 strings, I can play it.
Multifaceted. It's pretty good.
Yes.
We also have National Family Caregivers Day. So
Amen on that, brother.
Amen.
shout out to that. National Jukebox Day. So
Don't rock the jukebox.
Put a little money in that jukebox. Let it spin for you.
does Waffle House still have jukeboxes, right?
They damn sure better. Or I'm not going in. If I go to Waffle House and there's not a fight between the waitresses and no jukebox, I'm leaving. I'm out.
Fair.
I'm out.
You pay for a pay-per-view event. We also have National Pins and Needles Day.
Daily.
So,
Yeah,
let's
daily.
see. What do you love about America Day?
Everything.
Everything.
Turtle Adoption Day.
Oh, I'll
So-
need a turtle.
Adopt a turtle.
Leonardo,
Let's
Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo.
Taiwan On Day is next.
That's
That's
tonight.
Pie in the Face Day is
That's
after
tomorrow.
Tonight.
that. We also have National Bavarian Cream Pie Day. So
Oh, you like the cream pie? Bavarian cream pie is good, man.
I've heard some donuts are pretty good that way. Yep.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. National Craft Jerky Day is next.
Oh, watch out for that now.
Yep. We also have Blackout Wednesday. So that's
tonight.
That's
Yep.
also tonight.
that's tonight.
Party starts at 6 downtown.
Apparently, Blackout Wednesday is for the people that are the out-of-towners that come back to their hometown and just get blacked out before
I
Thanksgiving.
don't know. We'll go blacked out. Jeff Eastlick, if you're listening, we're hitting Tootsie's tonight about 6:30. Be prepared. We want the VIP room
With some Bavarian cream pie in there.
with some cream pie in there. Yep. It was fun working here. Y'all take care.
That's it.
That's it. That better be it.
David James will be on it too today.
All right, time for celebrity birthdays. You have to get these within 2 years. Oh my gosh. Our first birthday, Catherine Bigelow, film director, producer. I think she did The Hurt Locker. She is a very important person in Hollywood. Catherine Bigelow.
53.
55.
73. Bill Nye, the science guy.
71.
81.
69.
Nice.
God. Fisher Stevens, the actor Fisher Stevens. He was in Short Circuit many years ago.
58.
63.
61. We're tied at 1. Robin Givens, Mike Tyson's ex-wife. Robin Givens.
53.
62.
60. Dr. Crane's up 2-1. Urkel, Jaleel White.
50.
43.
48. We're tied at 2. I like where this game's headed so far. I like it a lot. Let's see who else. Don't know who that is. We'll go down. All right, we got some good ones. Don't know who that is. Oh my gosh. The drummer for Anthrax, Charlie Benatti.
57.
62.
62 exactly. The drummer for Faith No More, Mike Borden.
47.
49.
62. Dr. Crane's up 4-2. Rapper Scoob of Das EFX.
53.
50.
54. How'd you know that? 4-3, Dr. Crane. Rapper Twista.
49.
38.
52. I love these rapper names. All right, we got 4 left. Dr. Crane's up 4-3. One of our favorite guys, because he's in the best episode ever of The Simpsons, Mike Sosha. How old is
Oh, yeah.
Mike Sosha?
Sosha is 62.
58.
66. Former New York Jets quarterback, drafted in 1983, Ken O'Brien.
64.
57.
64 exactly. Chase McCabe's up 5-4. We got 2 left. Might possibly be the best offensive lineman of all time. Larry Allen pass away?
I thought he did, yeah.
Well, today's his birthday, so we'll skip over that. Good job, Joe. Hold on. Do better. My staff. All right. So final one. Chase is up 5-4.
Yeah, he passed away earlier this year.
Okay. May he rest in peace. He's one of the best linemen of all time. All right, here we go. Final birthday is former Tennessee Titan, John Runyon. How old is John?
Senator now, right?
Runyon.
Or congressman?
Something.
Yeah. Big John is 58.
56.
51. And
Oh.
with that, Chase wins 5-4. Well,
Well
done,
done.
Chase.
Thank you. Guys, thankful for you. Thankful for everybody here at 1025 The Game and Cromwell Media, even the ones that text me when I'm on the air.
That's
It's
right.
okay.
As we do every show, and Dylan, I read your text earlier about the Marines you work with who suffer for PTSD, and our show talking to people every day. This is not something we take for granted. We really mean this to our guys out there and to the ladies too, but more importantly to the guys. Just know that we love you, and we know you're going through a few things. Please talk to somebody. I mean, 988 on your cell phone. You can call or text. Just tell them we love you, and more importantly, God loves you, and you have a purpose on this earth that is a beautiful purpose. And I know you're going through some tough things. I've been there where I didn't want to get out of bed and I had no hope, but you got hope. You got friends, you got family, you got people, you got us. Know that you are tremendously loved, and whatever you're going through right now, we got you. We're here for you. Our world is a better place because you are here. Please know that. Again, we love you, and more importantly, God loves you.
Happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. Be happy. Have fun. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD is next.